Hello, powerful people. Welcome and thank you for visiting my channel where I share everything you need to know to design your life. Today I wanted to talk to you about a few products. These are just a few of my top picks. I think you will find them very helpful, so be sure to watch to the end because some of them can bring a little extended longevity to some of your surfaces. And I have found several that I use again and again. They are in my cleaning toolbox because I know they're going to come in handy. Let me know in the comments which ones that you either use now or that you are going to try. The sound you hear at the moment is a storm. It is wind blowing and rain and occasionally thunder, so please excuse that. We are powerful people, but I do not control the weather. There will always be links below a video for any items that I share, including my filming equipment, in case you are curious or considering some of the items for yourself. In case you are new to my channel, my name is Clarice Smith, and I am an interior designer and EXP realtor, and my passion is empowering you to design your life. I share design and real estate content, giving you all the inside knowledge to create great interiors, so that it helps you design the spaces for the life you want to experience. Whether you are setting up a temporary space, selling and moving on, or you are in your forever home. These products and tips are helpful for keeping your home clean and maintained, or for staging your home for sale. Keeping things simple and systemized can help us accomplish our tasks more easily. This is not an exhaustive list, but it is a very, very valuable list. So let's get started with some of my tried and true products and tips for improving the appearance of worn and stained surfaces and also for odor control of pets. BriWax is the first product I want to mention. I love this product. I use it a lot. It brings back the shine to wood. It can be used as a finish, a polish, or a reconditioner, and if you match the stain color to the colored BriWax, it will cover up fine scratches. Also, a side note, if you use the pigmented and you find that it's a little bit too dark, it's a good idea to always have the clear BriWax on hand as well, because if you've applied say you like walnut and you applied it and it was a bit darker than you were hoping for, you can use the clear wax to dilute that down, but you just reapply the clear wax on top and it softens everything and it will lighten it some. Now the second product is similar to the BriWax, but BriWax is not food safe. So you want to use BriWax on furniture pieces, anything that food will not come in contact with it. Like BriWax, Daddy Van's Countertop Care is also a wax, but it is food safe to use around food because it is chemical free and non-toxic. Use it on wood countertop, butcher block, composite, slate, soapstone, and put it on and then polish it out. Both of these waxes are water repellent, but it is advised that you use coasters or placemats when you're placing hot or wet items on them, because you don't want any of that moisture to get trapped under the wax and cause rings. The next product is Blue Magic Vinyl and Leather Cleaner, and it will clean and bring a polish to leather or to vinyl. It is safe to use on furniture, purses, cars, anything again that is vinyl or leather. And the way that I would recommend using it is to spray it on a cloth and then apply it to your leather or your vinyl. That way you don't have to worry about overspray and ending up with anything looking splotchy. So the fifth product is Barkeeper's Friend. This is a powder that is finer than cleanser, and it will clean stains and waterline buildup, slime buildup so much better than cleanser, and I have not had a problem with it scratching, and it rinses away without leaving a heavy residue. If you have a water line, say in a toilet, it's really good to take that line away. You would simply lower the water by turning the turnoff valve and then releasing enough of the water that it takes it below that line. And then you put the powder in, scrub it down, and walk away and let it sit there for a little bit and give it another scrub and rinse it. Typically that will do it unless it's really bad. And if it is, you can just repeat it over a period of time. It will take those stains away. One thing I would not suggest, and it's not on here as a recommendation, but it just came to mind. Do not use the pumice stones to clean the lines in your toilets because those are very abrasive, and your toilet is a vitreous china. And when you scratch it with that pumice stone, you can actually harm the factory finish, which makes that vitreous china waterproof. Note about Barkeeper's Friend, I am not fond of the odor of it. When it gets wet, to me it smells just a little bit like dirty socks. But as soon as you rinse it away, that odor goes away, and it's completely worth using it in spite of that little bit of odor because it's not obnoxious. It's just a little underlying tone of sweaty socks. The sixth product I want to share with you is Rejuvenation, and I recommend that everyone have this in their cleaning toolbox. This is perfect if you have laminate or solid surfaces, whether that be showers or sinks, countertops, whatever it is, other than a floor, because you do not want your floor that shiny. Rejuvenate, what it does is it will polish it. It will bring it back. Think of the 90s. It was very popular to have molded countertop and sink. That is a solid surface, and over time it becomes very dull. To get the biggest bang for your buck when you're staging or just for your home in general, make sure that you clean the surface well, especially around faucets, and go ahead and do any caulk replacing that you need to do. And then once everything's clean and completely dry, once it is, you apply the Rejuvenate, kind of like you do car wax, put it on. It's going to haze over, and then you come back and you polish it. And when you do, it's going to bring that shine back. Now, it will last for different lengths of time depending on if you are staging a property and you're not actively using those surfaces, you can just dust them off and it will hold up. If it's a surface that you're actively using, you will have to reapply this every so often, and that will depend on how much use you give that particular surface. But it's really good to bring life back to those older surfaces that we either don't want to replace, we're not in a position to replace them, but we would like for them to be freshened up. The seventh product I want to mention is Stone Care. Stone Care is for natural stones such as granite and quartz. The Stone Care products that I use most often, I have used many of them, but the two that I use most often is the Stone Care Clean, Shine, and Protect. And it's simply a spray, and it's kind of like the Rejuvenation in the sense that just clean your surface, and when it's dry, spray this on, buff it out, and it cleans the surface, it will polish the surface, and it will protect the surface. And then they have a Stone Care spray sealer, because every so often you need to reseal your granite or your quartz, because they're both natural stones. So easy to use. All you do is make sure your surface is free of candle wax, whatever. Just make sure they're clean, and then once they're dry, spray them on, and then you wipe them off, and you're done. Number 8 product I want to mention is Fractionated Coconut Oil. Now, it has several uses, but one of the main ones I use it for is to polish stainless steel. So dishwasher fronts, refrigerator fronts, stove fronts, and all you do is just apply a little bit to a cloth, and you buff it, you wipe it on the surface and then buff it out. And if you go with the grain of the stainless steel, then you will not have any fingerprints on there. It polishes it up very nicely. And you also can use it if you have a sticker, put a little bit of that on there, let it soak, and then be able to scrape it off with one of our next products. The 9th product I want to share with you is the Heleman plastic razor tool. Now, I am fearful of real razors. I will not have them because I'm always afraid I'll either cut myself, or goodness forbid that a child or someone will accidentally reach in and grab it. That would be awful. This tool is fabulous. When you order it, you can order just one, or you can buy them in multiple packs. And you get 100 or more blades, and they're very durable. Use it it will scrape up, again, stickers, candle wax. And if you keep this in your toolbox, I think you'll find it handy, because one of the things we tend to do is if something we need to get up, we'll grab the first thing that is handy, and it might be a screwdriver, it might be something else. We end up damaging our surface, and this is safe both to humans and to your surfaces. The The next product is a glass stovetop cleaner. I've tried many different brands, but my favorite is Weiman's. It tends to help the cooked on mess come off just a little bit easier, and then when I polish it, it leaves a nice shine rather than it being streaky or greasy. Okay, the next product is for helping to remove stains from walls, and that might be smears of paint or stain on a painted wall or marks of some type, and that is isopropyl alcohol 91%. So 91% alcohol will help to remove those stains depending on what they are. Your first go-to should be water, and then your second go-to should be water with a little bit of detergent. And if neither of those work, then you try the 91% alcohol. The 50% generally won't work. It will either smear or do nothing at all. So all you do is apply it to a cotton pad, not a cotton ball, because cotton ball will leave little pieces behind. And you put it on the cotton pad and then give it a quick wipe. If it comes off, you're good. If it needs to be touched up with paint after you take the stain off, it's still easier than trying to cover up a stain with paint, because then you end up with more layers of paint in that particular area and it's more likely to show. And if it doesn't come off, then of course you need to put a little bit of primer and then a little bit of paint and cover it up. But generally it does the job. Something else you can do with the 91% alcohol is if you're getting ready to paint and you're not sure if you have latex paint or if you have oil paint, in most cases this will be on trim because there's very few walls that have oil-based paint. But if you are going to paint trim or a door or whatever and you're not sure what type of paint is on that surface, you can take 91% alcohol, put it on a cotton pad, and give it an aggressive little scrub. If the paint comes off onto the pad, it is latex. If it does not come off onto the pad, then it is oil-based. And then you know what appropriate primer or paint that you need to go in with to repaint that surface. Next couple of products will help us to control the odor issues we might have. If you're dealing with odors, the first and best defense is cleanliness. So you want to go in and clean everything. And especially if it's like in an older home, and this is whether you're buying or you're renting, not just the obvious thing. You also want to clean the ceilings and you want to clean the walls. If you have painted walls, such as painted paneling or beadboard, you want to go in and wash those walls. Now, obviously use the appropriate cleaner if you use cleaner, or if it's just a mild detergent and water, and you want to clean those well. If it is a flat paint on sheetrock, at the very least you want to dust it, because paint and wall surfaces, your ceilings, they're the biggest surfaces in your house. So you want to make sure those are clean, whether that's washing them or dusting. To do all of this cleaning, you are going to need rags. And the best rags I have found is the Utopia flour sack towel, because you can bleach them, they're durable, they're large enough that you can clean most any surface with them. But those are the ones I would recommend. You can get them in packs of 12 or 24, so they're economical. If you have pets, you deal with odors or odor control. This can be in several different ways. The first thing is, of course, have your animals groomed, because if they're clean, they're not going to be bringing in additional odors on top of the next couple of things that we're going to talk about. Washing pet beds regularly is very important. Sometimes they can be quite large and cumbersome to get into residential washers and dryers. If pet beds are too difficult to wash, we tend not to wash them quite as often. Now, one of the solutions that I love is just to use king or queen size pillows. And of course, you can get whatever type you prefer for your pet, whether that is a memory foam or a cotton or a down, whatever it is you want. But what I usually do is I use a king or a queen size pillow, and then I use pillow shams. Pillow shams, the reason I use those instead of regular pillowcases is that pillowcases open on the end and the pillow can work its way out. If I use a pillow sham, then it is usually an envelope closing and it's in the center of the back. And therefore, as they're moving around on their bed, then the pillow stays in place. I also use a gusseted pillow, so that a gusseted pillow means it actually has sides. And it just helps it not to roll so much inside of the pillow sham as they're moving around on it, so it keeps its shape and it stays in place. The other great thing about using these is that they are easy to throw into the washer and dryer. I can wash them often so that they stay clean, and I don't have to worry about those pet odors, which is a lot easier to take care of pillow sham in the pillow than it is to take care of a big bulky pet bed. Another perk to doing this is that you can match your pillow sham to your decor. So if you are boho or modern or retro, whatever the case may be, you can find a pillow sham that will work really well with your decor. Another thing I would recommend is getting a natural blend. So get a cotton. Get something that is breathable because you don't want your pet to get hot. And natural fibers tend to keep them a bit cooler. Now the last product I want to share with you is, come on, I know you can guess it, litter box. Every cat owner knows that litter boxes are a challenge. What I use is the Breeze XL. And the reason I use it is because it is by far the easiest type of litter box I have ever used. So the way this works is you have the litter box, you have the pellets, and then you have the pads. Now it sounds like a little bit much, but it's not. The litter box, it has a grid on top. That's where the pellets go, because the pellets do not absorb all of the liquid, but it takes care of the ammonia. And then the pads in the bottom catch all the pee, so you can change the pads more often, and then the pellets last longer than your traditional litter. But one of the things I dreaded was changing the litter box and having to deal with the odor. If I changed it often enough so that there was not any type of odor, then it was a constant waste because I was changing the litter box about every other day. If I didn't change it to get longevity out of the litter, then there was the odor. On top of that, instead of having to take the litter box, you dump out the litter, you wash the litter box, you come back and you put more litter in it, and then you have litter dust. And then you have all these little bits of litter within 10 feet of your litter box. The pellets are larger. Then the tray, you can pull it out, snatch out the pad, wipe it down with a spray cleaner. I actually use a spray Clorox. And wipe it down, put a fresh pad. I can change the pad in less than 45 seconds. Try doing that with a traditional litter box. You are going to have a lot more steps involved, and it's always frustrating no matter how you do it. And just a couple of notes. Preparation is key. Gather all of your cleaning supplies in one area. If it's in a closet or a carry-all or a trolley, whatever works best for you. It's always easier to get on with the routine or for quick cleanups if everything is easily accessible. Protection is key, and so gloves are very important. I recommend that you have reusable ones and also disposable ones. The reusable ones will cut down on waste and cost, and then the disposable ones can be used for those stinky jobs where you just want to do the job and then dispose of everything and not have to worry. And I would recommend using gloves, completing any and all tasks with any of these products or any products. Make sure you always read manufacturer's guidelines. Make sure you always spot test a product before using it over the entire surface. And then make sure that you do your own research before purchasing and using any product. If you have found these tips and product suggestions helpful, please let me know below which ones you were inspired to give a try. And it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe and become part of our new community of powerful people. It not only helps my channel grow, but it also helps me reach more people, empowering them to design their life. Also, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to check out the playlist. The launch playlist has 7 videos, and they are packed full of valuable content to help you design your life. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you in the next one.